Welcome back. The White House has a new hot list of emerging technology to tighten national security. The strategy identifies 20 critical new technologies and outlines objectives for prioritizing the innovation base. Tony Scott is CEO of the Tony Scott Group, former Chief Information Officer of the United States. Tony, thanks very much for coming on. On first blush, I thought 20 things, that's a lot of different things to focus on. As I look at this list, though, all 20 of them strike me as tremendously important. Do you think I'm looking at this list the right way?
Well, I think you are. In my view, several of them could be combined together. There's a bunch of them that generally fall under the sort of computing, advanced software sort of space. But, some of them are worth calling out separately as well. So, I mean, that's just an organizational issue. Small quarrel, not a big deal.
What's the most important thing that the government can do as an enterprise to drive these 20 things? Is it just S&T? The strategy is very clear. It wants market-driven solutions and not state-driven solutions. So what's the government to do except to say we think these things are important?
Well, I think there's a couple of things that really make a difference if you get them right. One is establish leadership somewhere in the federal government, put an agency in charge of each of these as the central coordinating point for activities under that topic area. Second is make sure that the grants and other activities that the government is capable of doing, whether it's research grants or other kinds of things, really emphasize these areas strongly. Use the bully pulpit, of the government to help influence these. But one of the most important things, I think, is we've got to change the way government could use unsolicited proposals. When I was in the private sector, this was one of the key ways that I was able to bring new and innovative things into my organization, no matter what it was. And in government, that's typically a little harder to do because of competition reasons and so on. So if I were to focus on any one thing, it would be to encourage the legitimate use of more unsolicited proposals from the private sector. I think that could be a game changer in terms of really making progress on some of these in some of these areas.
What has to happen and who needs to do what, Tony, in the construct the way that it lives today to change that?
Well, it's really some of our procurement practices and rules, culture as well. And so I think somebody really needs to take leadership on that and look at all of the barriers that are there. I had more than one key supplier say, I'd love to come and do this, but the first thing that happens in most agencies is you turn right around to my competitor and ask them for their opinion or a competitive bid using the things that I just showed you. And so that was used as an excuse not to bring unsolicited proposals into the government.
So does that something that every agency should try to take on individually? So, for example, could one organization say, we're going to go ahead and give this a shot? Or is that something that should be coordinated at an agency-wide level? Maybe that lives at GSA or that lives at OMB or something like that.
I think it could start at OMB with some general encouragement for unsolicited proposals. It could be part of the rulemaking that OMB does, but ultimately it's got to be implemented in every agency in one way or another. But I think OMB should really take leadership there.
Is there a danger that if it's implemented at the agency level that it'll look different in each organization, and companies, as they try to respond, will have to respond to the way this agency does it, and it's different at this other place, and so we have 20-some different mechanisms?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I wouldn't discourage any agency from doing this, obviously, but because it's that important. But I think OMB is the place that could create a more unified and common approach to this that would advance the cause across all agencies.
There's another element of this that struck me as I looked through this strategy, and NextGov writes it this way. The strategy is molded around two pillars: promoting the national security innovation base and protecting a technology advantage. Each pillar includes a list of actions geared towards speeding the innovation process and walling it off from foreign influence. This is something the Defense Department is taking action toward with through the concept of adversarial capital. And I wonder if that's what this strategy is getting at as well, Tony, do you think?
I think it's obviously a part of it in this particular case. I found that a little bit troubling because, we have some great partners internationally, and I think we need to be careful about foreign influence when it's good versus bad or helpful, or among our partners that have been great in terms of helping us in the technology space. So it probably, in the end of the day, can't all be just the U.S. doing it, but I understand where the concern is, where it's our adversaries, and we do need to be careful in those areas, obviously. So I think that's probably too broad a brush the way it's stated in the policy document.
We have less than a minute left, Tony. What would you watch moving forward? Is it just the idea that you discussed earlier about the unsolicited proposals, or are there other elements here that you think will determine the progress or success of this strategy?
Well, I'll look for leadership. Where is the lead is one. The other one is, what investment in people are we going to put into this particular area? You not only need leadership, but you need subject matter experts. And I would hope that in each of these critical areas, we find a way to gather the subject matter experts together and come up with the best, strategy below this list. Each of these is going to require a specific implementation plan and set of activities that the government's going to engage in. And they might be different across each of these, but each is going to require some sort of implementation.
Tony Scott, thanks very much. Great to have you back.
Good to see you. Thanks, Francis.